House to Home, brought to you by Remax Diamond Realty.
All right, everybody. Now, as you drive around this beautiful island of ours, invariably you will find signs from island realtors saying, call me, call my company. We'd like to find you the perfect home for you. We'd like to give you great commercial property. But how exactly does that process work? Fortunately, we have a realtor and one of the best on island right in front of us right here, Liz Duenas. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, now, first of all, before we get to this, I want to do my best realtor pose if I ever become a realtor.
This.
Is that good? Oh, okay. Chin down.
Chin down.
Chin down, eyes wide.
Actually, everyone's different.
Yeah.
We see people who do this, or they just have a regular pose. Everyone's different with their style.
Well, as someone who studied advertising for a number of years and everything, it is very catching, and I think the mnemonics are they're very proven because it does gain your attention. But exactly how does that work? Because you'll see some number, and does that mean you call? Like if your picture was there, do I call you directly? Do I call Remax Diamond Realty?
Yes, you could call the agent directly on, but also let's say for example you're already working with a realtor. And by the way, if you're a realtor, you are a member of the Guam Association of Realtors and also a member of the National Association of Realtors. And what that means is we're governed, we have a code of ethics that we have to abide by. And if let's say someone does something wrong and there's a grievance or a complaint filed, they have a mechanism to go to the Guam Association of Realtors and they can say, hey, so-and-so did this. Can you check if they violated their code of ethics? Because I want to file a complaint. So normally those complaints will go to the board. They have the grievance committee will convene and they'll look at our code of ethics to see which section and which code did that realtor violate. So what that means is there's protection for the community. So we have codes and guidelines that we have to abide by. So always look for the realtor. Are you a realtor or are you a real estate agent? So if you're not part of the board and something goes wrong, what mechanisms can you use to file a complaint? You could go to Rev and Tax to file the complaint, but the wonderful part, if they're a realtor, you could go to the board and there is a grievance process. And if they're in violation, then it goes, there's other committees that complaint will go to. And there's repercussions.
Now here's the one thing, and this has always confused me, even when I was looking for a new home. If I see a realtor's sign up there or an ad, I'm thumbing through the yellow pages or I'm online and I see like an ad, but you're my preferred realtor, but I see it's a property I'm interested in, but somebody else says, hey, you can call me. Can I still call you for that, or do different realtors have like their own exclusive properties?
What you want to do is you want to call the realtor that you are comfortable with and you want to work with, and then that agent will actually contact the other realtor and set up the appointment to go look at the property. A lot of the properties out there have lock boxes. There's one that's automated. It tells you what time, who showed it, etc. It gives details. So you can go to your favorite realtor, and that realtor could make the arrangements, do all the legwork involved, take you to the property and show it. Now, if you decide, let's say that your realtor has showed you 10 properties and you pick one of them happens to have another agent sign. What happens is your realtor and that realtor work together. They co-broke the listing, meaning your agent will write up the contract. The other agent actually represents the seller. So if you look at the contract, it'll say who represents who.
Okay, so this now my thing as a consumer, and one again because I'm lazy, I just want the realty process to be almost like a black box and everything. Does that mean I'll pay double commission, or will the price go up because I'm going through another step?
The commission will be paid for by the seller, and usually both realtors will split that commission.
Okay. So nothing more for me?
None from you, not as the buyer. Now in the States, there have been where, let's say you decide, I want to hire a realtor and you want them, you will pay them. There's some corporations that sometimes will hire a realtor and say, you work for me and I want to pay you the commission. So, I mean, that's something that could be negotiated, but in general on the island, the commission is paid for on the seller's side.
This is particularly interesting because I didn't know that almost every realtor has their own exclusive properties. Is that the right term? And then we've got all these online services that say we can scour the entire World Wide Web and basically filter everything and say this is what property is available and everything, and now here's who you go through. But can I still go through you if you're my preferred?
Oh yes, because there's two sides of a transaction. One is the listing side. So the realtors who have their sign, they have a written contract representing the seller to sell their property. So if you have a realtor, your realtor would actually go through all the listings. So if I send you a list of properties, the list will be comprised of all the real estate offices on the island. So we currently have 430 realtors on this island. So if each of them had a listing, if you wanted to see 3-bedroom homes, I would check our multiple listing service, which is comprised of all the listings on Guam from all the realtors. And when we say listing, it's a written contract that they have. It's not word by mouth, it is actually a written contract. So I'd send you all those listings, you glean it, scan it, decide which properties you want to see. Then your realtor will take you out and show you the properties. And then from there you can decide which ones you're most interested in, and your realtor would submit the offer. But they will work with the other agent who is the listing agent who represents the seller. Now, it is possible that, let's say I'm working with you, it's possible that within our office, one of our agents or I have a house that you are interested in. That would be referred to like a dual agency, meaning we are representing the seller because the contract is within the house, within our office, but we have to disclose. It's all about disclosure, disclosure, disclosure. We want to make sure you're aware that both parties that are doing the transaction are represented by the same umbrella, by the same office.
And probably the biggest thing is there's the element of trust between you and I.
That's right. Although we are representing both parties, we want to make sure that we treat both parties fairly. So we cannot divulge information that is confidential on one side and vice versa. So we just have to disclose to both parties that we're writing it up, both parties are within our office, and as long as all parties are okay with it, we can move forward.
All right, well, Liz, thanks so much, and happy holidays once again.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. And if I may paraphrase everybody, the classic movie Full Metal Jacket, this is my realtor. There are many like her, but this one is mine. And she can help you too, so give her a call. We'll be right back.